So really quick, I just wanted to mention something about the 2-minute presentation. The goal here, research methods is kind of a tough course to give. So my goal is to make it a little more entertaining. So the documentaries, in my opinion, are a creative way to communicate the methods. So what you want to do is watch one of the documentaries. I mean, you have to watch all of them, but for your presentation and say like, what's the research question? There are two, for example, for the hunting ground, why, despite being liberal universities, did they cover it up? And then we get into like the whole, economic interest. They want to, hide the information because they don't want people, not going to the university. Fraternity sports makes monies, etc. And then you could ask another question. I'm thinking of two for the hunting ground. That's the documentary on the lamentable situation of sexual assault and harassment on campuses that were hidden. How did it kind of the Me Too movement come to fruition? And a good question for that is, why then, at that time? And it's interesting because, obviously you have internet is a big thing. More people are on Facebook, all the social media outlets. Once one person starts talking about it, other people do, adult education, etc. So that's what you're going to be looking at in these documentaries. What's the research question that you could advance? And then what's the data you're looking at? For the hunting ground, you're looking at collecting the information that these girls are giving, how they were denied access, etc. So it's very, very interesting. For the video on Bashar al-Assad, why was Bashar al-Assad able to withstand this the movement of the Arab Spring, whereas like Mubarak was overthrown in Egypt. So you're looking at case study analysis in these two cases, and you look at the variables, like with Bashar al-Assad, the rise of Russia helping it, Iran, the fact that they saw what happened in Egypt, a lot of the people in Syria. So a lot of people decided, look at Bashar al-Assad, we don't like him, but we don't want the Muslim Brotherhood taking over, etc. So you start looking at these variables, what sustained Bashar al-Assad opposed to like Mubarak, Libya. Obviously, we use NATO in Libya. So you look at these questions. The same thing goes. It's pretty interesting. The what's that one on ethnography? But you'll see at the end the guy like married this really young girl, and that gets into ethics as well. But in with the Yanomami people, you basically could ask the research question, why are the Yanomami people fighting? And one hypothesis is for women, the other is for meat. That's kind of like a interesting research. But then you have, alternative hypotheses, et cetera. And then you could use interpretive methods where the Yanomami people are considered so holy, where he's saying, no, they're really warlike people, that is Shagnon. So you have kind of the debate about the identity of the people. And that's ethnography because they actually live there. So you're looking at these kind of interesting documentaries and then picking one you might like. Now, it did come up. Oh, the other one is Quiet Rage is kind of cool. How they put those young kids in the jail cell, and some were traumatized, etc. That was a difficult study, but someone did bring up an important question, was like, well, what happens if we wait and we don't like the documentary we chose? Look, at the fact of the matter is I'm flexible on these due dates. If you really don't like, say, you wait all the way to say the hunt, let's say Quiet Rage, and you wanted to do Syria, just do Syria. Just make sure you get it in at a decent time after. I think each summer or regular semester online course will have, the last due date, right, for the documentary. That will be the last time that we'll be accepting it, or you'll lose points. So you have to start thinking about, what you might be interested in. I also do give the option of the O.J. Simpson trial. That's a Netflix thing. And, you could do a positivist one that is cause and effect, where you ask the question, how did O.J. Simpson be found guilty? Not guilty. But why did they find him not guilty? Look at jury selection, etc., cause and effect. Or you could do a more interpretive methods, where it's like how they socially constructed O.J. Simpson as being, like a man of the people, how they went in and actually changed around his house, statues, pictures, the cake, etc., in order to make his image different, because that's what interpretive methods focuses on, kind of image, how we socially and how we socially construct a situation, legitimize it, and perpetuate it. So that's very, very important. So that's very interesting question someone posited. So you can get it. I mean, you can change it. You don't have to stick with the one. If you wait for a while, etc., you can go back and do the Syrian one. And also, I also want to stress one other thing. In these classes, they move fast, keep up with the work. That's why I do put some kind of due date on there. But even more importantly, every time I put a discussion board up, some students, a very few, kind of get a little upset about that. Oh, he just threw up a discussion board. Remember, the discussion boards, we already have over 100 points in the class. Anything that goes up extra, like maybe an extra question on a quiz or this extra discussion board here or whatever, that's an extra point. So anything over 100 is extra. So we already reached over 100 points. So that means, like, if we have 112 points, that's 12 points over. If we have 113 points, that's 13 points over. And you get an A+ if you hit the 100 points. So thanks a lot for listening, and take care, everyone, and have a great semester.